So now we can templatize what we just saw earlier in Brian Baker and work backwards. In fact, I've given you a resource that you should look at. This resource is a free resource. It's known as Extensio. It helps you create templates that you can use to fill in the blanks to develop persona profiles. And persona profiles are available within the Extensio environment. So leveraging the Extensio template, you now can very quickly create persona profiles, and you do want to create a variety of persona profile. In this case, this persona profile is that of Jack Rowland. And again, you can look at this example by following the link on the slides. Now, this is where I want to guide you towards that basically is the tail end of persona development. And in this, again, fictitious example, we are looking at a product, which is a fairly high-tech self-tracker, and 3 fairly different profile who could benefit from this exercise tracker itself. The 3 profiles as follows: the casual user, the fitness enthusiast, and the medical user. My question to you is this: aren't they very, very different in pain points, wants, needs, demographics, motivation? Yes or no? But what do most marketers do? Most marketers treat your audience as one message, one ad, one lump of targets. And then we wonder, why does our ad do so badly? That's the reason, right? We skip the entire persona development process. Now, let's investigate this a little bit deeper, because this is an excellent example that you can use to draw references from. So as mentioned, this is from Extensio. The product itself, which is fictitious, is a exercise tracker, as mentioned, and based on survey or historical data or customer data, as mentioned, forms the basis of the initial research. And what they say here, they've identified 3 user segments: the casual user, the fitness enthusiast, and the medical user. Now, in terms of market share, they believe, based on their research, that their market is comprised of 55% fitness enthusiasts, 30% medical users, and 15% casual users. Now, why is this information important in terms of potential market share? Well, for one, wouldn't your budget be affected based on market share? The answer will be yes, right? If you know that majority of 55%, half of your target market are going to be fitness enthusiasts, from a marketing angle, I will need to be prepared to allocate half my marketing budget to this segment. The smallest segment here, ironically, is casual users, the broad segment. And if I am the marketing director here, what this data tells me is that I'm going to be allocating about 15% of my marketing budget to the casual user. Even budgeting needs to have as scientific as basis as possible, because your marketing spend determines your reach. We're not here to target 100,000 fitness enthusiasts, 100,000 medical users, and 100,000 casual users. If that is true, then your marketing budget becomes 33. That's not the case, based on what this brief is all about here. But more importantly, this coming down here, that's to give you an appreciation on the value of persona development. Notice that they have come up with statements that describe their persona and motivation. For the casual user, I'm just going to read it out. It says, I just want to keep track of my basic healthy stats and body conditions. Now, this statement is very different. The fitness enthusiast, whose motivation is this: I love going to the gym, and my fitness is one of my top priorities. Now, the question is this: how does it affect your messaging? Okay. How did it affect your headline of your landing page? How does it affect the images that you use that influence whether or not your segment or persona can identify with your messaging? To the medical users, which is an interesting segment, they've identified, it says, I'm searching for a product that can help me overcome my health issues more easily. Again, how does it affect your copy, your headline, your testimonials, the images that you use, the benefits that you communicate? At the very least, This exercise now should expose you. For this campaign to be successful, you need to have 3 landing pages, one landing page targeting the casual user, another landing page targeting the fitness enthusiast, and again a third landing page targeting a medical user with its own corresponding ads that identify the pain points and motivations and answer the pain points and motivations as well. What else is valuable apart from the goals and the frustrations is the conclusion on channels. So this is important. The persona development exercise precedes your channels marketing. For example, for a casual user, you can see in this example that actually online ads and social media is a good fit. So Facebook marketing is a goal for the casual user, but they also identified very correctly health and fitness publications. Why? Because it's one thing to want to improve health, and that is the general population all wants to improve their health, but the people who are more fanatical read magazines. Is that true? Absolutely. In fact, the truth is this: the ability to target a specific magazine title in Facebook gives you a very good representation of the fanatical users in a particular segment. The people who read home and garden, interior design, in fact, leverage the magazines as research documents. So if someone is reading interior design or interior decor magazine, you bet your bottom dollar that they are about to remodel their home. What we're saying is that you need to look for clues like a detective in your segment work and your persona development. So magazines, very, very strong proxy in any niche that indicates avid users. Now, in this case, for casual user, they correctly identified, this is quite realistic if you ask me, that in fact the professional recommendations as a channel is unlikely to be that effective. And professional recommendation can come in many forms. Obviously, it's like a word of mouth thing, refer a friend, affiliate program. And it's good to know that if you're going to be targeting casual user, then don't bother with these things. It's probably not going to be a good fit. Now let's take the second persona over here, which is the fitness enthusiast. You can see here that online ads and social media is still effective, but what they are claiming in this fictitious persona, which I find really realistic, social media and online ads end up less effective than for the casual user. Why? Well, I think probably the reason is because the fitness enthusiast is spending a lot of time in the gym, working on their body, rather than hanging out on Facebook, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, they spend more time in the gym than you and I, and that leaves them less time to waste on social media. The next one is health and fitness publications. So we can benefit by leveraging health and fitness publications for the casual user, but the correlation for the fitness enthusiast is even higher because they are the exact target that magazines are targeting. The fitness enthusiast, for sure, as opposed to the casual user. And that's the reason why you see the bar for health and fitness publications go all the way to almost the end. Compared to casual users, this persona is telling us that professional recommendations are going to be more effective than casual users, and I pretty much agree with this. Why? Because fitness enthusiasts tend to be more participative. They want to share techniques, so they would join groups, they would hang out like-minded people, and like-minded people gives them an opportunity to do word of mouth recommendation. Makes a lot of sense here. The final one is the medical user, and again, fairly realistically, if you're going to be targeting the medical user or the medical community, as what they're saying over here or suggesting, online ads and social media will just be, well, 50% effective, which again, I agree, right? The medical users are all busy in the lab doing stuff. They are professionals, and they're not your typical social media profile. Neither are they fitness fanatics, and therefore trying to reach out to them via health and fitness publications would be a very poor fit. But look at the professional recommendation channel. The professional recommendation channel goes sky high. Why? Because these people are obviously consummate experts, and they have certain very specific needs and such experts tend to turn to their own community for advice. So in this case, you can see that professional recommendation ironically becomes the most effective channel for this specific segment. At the very least, what I want you to take away from this segment is to not treat your audience as homogeneous, because you want to generate better results, you want to spend less and achieve more. When it comes to targeting, don't just target generic profiles. Target specific profiles with evidence of motivation, evidence of wanting to look for solutions. And the hint that we have is to look for evidence of solution aware segments. This is the biggest takeaway in this lesson called persona development. Problem aware simply means they are already actively looking for a solution, and your job is to identify suitable behaviors or suitable interests that demonstrate that they are solution aware and therefore are closer to the conversion process itself.